Hey, what's up people, this is Dark Raids. My name is Joshua Dow and I'm an artist. In this video I'm going to be painting on a skateboard, and it is going to be something concerning the Black Lives Matter movement and all the protests that have been going on, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the whole topic, my opinion on it, and basically why I think everybody should speak up. But before we get into that, I'm going to talk a little bit about my process in the beginning stages of the painting, because I don't think everybody knows what's necessarily going on in the beginning, and once it gets into the actual painting I think it becomes pretty self-explanatory. So at that point I'm going to start talking about this topic, adding my 2 cents in, and yeah, just speaking my mind. So stay tuned for that, and yeah, let's just get into the painting. So I start this by importing a template of a skateboard into Procreate and then sketching my design over it. And this design is a young black woman with badass armor, like a warrior type of character. But even though it is like that medieval fantasy armor, I still incorporated some modern day contemporary aspects in there, because I didn't want this to be some random character design. I wanted to obviously speak to this topic at hand. So I gave a face mask which says speak on it, to just remind you that you have to voice your opinion about this, that this is not the time to be quiet, and obviously because of the coronavirus, the mask, and then also a police car which she's standing on with a broken windshield. Then I sanded off the skateboard. And got ready to spray paint the background. Just like a desperate motherfucker strapped to a bomb. Humanity's gone, smoked up in a gravity bong by a Democrat, Republican, Cheech and Chong. Immortal technique, you never heard me preaching in songs. I'm not controversial, I'm just speaking the facts. Once that was done, I went ahead to doodle in a doodle grid, and if you don't know what that is, you basically just draw a bunch of different random stuff as a reference where to place things. So after I did that, I took a picture of it and imported it into Procreate, and then laid my line art over it so I know where to place things. Like for example, the left bun of hair is cutting the coffee cup, or the right foot is cutting the clock down there that I drew, and this way I know where to place things, and it really helps with not losing all the progress that you already made, like all the proportions that you already determined where they are. You don't basically have to draw that all over again and figure it out all over again on this different scale, but you already have a guide where to place things. I did this in chalk because you can just wash away chalk really easily with a wet cloth. And then I went ahead to draw in the actual line art with a wood marker over it, and I don't think you have to use a wood marker for this, just any permanent marker that doesn't wash away easily is sufficient. Alright, so I'm just gonna finish up the line art after this and then go straight into painting, so with acrylic colors. All of that is pretty self-explanatory, so I'm just gonna stop talking about my process right now and start tackling this topic that I wanted to talk about. So I just feel that it's very hard to talk about real life problems, political problems on the internet, and that's not because I am afraid to voice my opinions or because I don't have a lot of opinions or stuff like that. Like, if you know me in real life, you know that when it comes to political discussions and stuff like that, I always get very heated and very into it and passionate about it and stuff like that. But I feel like it's a very different thing on the internet. For one, I hate to see this like important topics to become a trend. Like, a lot of people started drawing George Floyd after he got murdered. Some people just do it out of compassion and because they believe in him and believe in the movement and stuff, but other people obviously are just hopping onto the bandwagon. So that's why I don't usually like making videos about this. And then another reason is that I would hate for this to be misunderstood, because if you have a real life discussion about this, like with other people or with another person, then you might say something that they misunderstand, and like for example, if I have information that is in the back of my head and it plays into an argument that I have, like a point that I make, but I don't say that information and I'm not aware that it plays that much into it, and I just leave it out, then the other person might not understand what I'm saying. But in a real life conversation, they might just say, okay, what did you mean with that? I don't really get it, like, are you saying this and that? And then I can just say, oh no, sorry, I forgot to mention that I have this information, or I forgot to mention that I see it this way, and I can just like kind of make up for my mistake that I made before. And in this case of creating a video, like I'm creating it, it's not a two-way conversation. Like I'm making this video and then I'm putting it out there, and then people might comment on it, or I might comment on it, like realizing I forgot to say something and kind of correct myself. But it's still not the same. Like the video is out there the way that it is, and I can't really take it back that way. So I have that fear of being misunderstood in a way that would portray my opinion in a place that where it's not. What I'm about to say is also connected to that. Like I really don't want what I'm about to say to be misunderstood at all. So, but I'm still gonna say it, because another reason that I feel like it's very hard to make content, to make videos or artwork about real life problems, is that I don't really know where to stop. Because there's just so much wrong stuff going on in the world, and once I start talking about one thing, I feel like it's very hard to just leave it at that. Like decide where the content starts and where it ends, where the information starts and where it ends. Like for example, with this, I am making a video on this. I'm making a video on the Black Lives Matter movement. I think it is very important to do that. I stand behind it, of course, completely, and I hope things change for the people. I really stand behind this topic. But then on the other hand, it feels so bad making a video about this, while there's other topics as well that are not getting as much attention as this one is getting. Like for example, the refugee situation just right now in Europe, but also I guess I don't know as much about it. The refugees from Central America coming to North America. I feel like that is very similar to the situation of African and Middle Eastern refugees coming to Europe right now. The things that they go through, I can't even begin to fathom the pain that they're in and the hardships that they go through, and not just like from coming out of a war zone and losing people in a war zone and stuff like that, but also the journey after that and losing all your money, all your belongings, like selling that for the hope to get to a better place. But then once you get there, you're not even wanted, you're discriminated, you like get pushed around from one country to another, nobody wants you, and I don't know, it's just such a huge problem, and they are not even seen. Like their problem is not even seen. Like people are so good at ignoring this problem, and that's why I feel like it's so hard to just talk about this Black Lives Matter movement that is going on right now, but that is very big, while other people are suffering as well. But they are not being heard or seen at all. So, but it's also not my place to like at all to say that like I'm not gonna talk about your problem because other people have it worse, because that is just feeding into that problem of not anybody being seen, you know. And I mean, I'm a white guy from Germany, so I'm really not in the place to say like your suffering is not as important as this guy's suffering and stuff like that, because my problems are like nothing, like zero compared to any of these people's problems. So yeah, that is definitely not my place to say, but I hope you see what I'm saying, that yeah, I just don't know where to stop with these topics. Like once I talk about something, like I feel really bad leaving out other people's problems as well. But I am still making this video, I'm still making this artwork, even though I just listed a bunch of reasons why I would not usually, and that is also for a couple of reasons. One thing is, like I said, I'm a white guy from Germany, and because of those reasons that I just listed, I might not say something, but I have that choice not to say something. I have that choice to stay out of politics on the internet. Well, a lot of people just don't. Like, they don't have a choice just because of their skin color, of their heritage, of their nationality, of their religion and stuff like that. Their mere existence is political, so I don't want to use my privilege to not say something, but I want to use my privilege to have the choice to say something, to indeed say something, and just help out where I can, like just to add to their voice and try to amplify it with mine. And then also I just said that I don't know where to stop when talking about real life problems, because there are just so many, which is indeed the case, but I also I don't know where to start. And but I think that is the thing that I should lay the focus in right now, just starting at all. And it is in this case with this Black Lives Matter movement, because it's big right now, and because I feel like it is important right now, and because of the reason that I'm about to get to. But yeah, I just feel like I just have to start with something. And even though I might make this artwork about one topic and feel bad about leaving out other topics, I think that is still the better option in comparison to not making a video about all and not talking about any topic. And yeah, then the last reason why I'm still making this artwork and making this video is just because I think that the most important thing you can do outside of actively protesting, which I did too, by the way, is to just make something, is to just speak on something, is to just post something. And because especially in these times where people seem to have such a short-term memory, and where the next big thing might come along, and people forget about this again, it's the most important thing to post something on the internet, or not even the internet. You might also just wear a t-shirt with your opinion on it and walk around town or something, just to keep this in people's mind and keep reminding people that this movement is still going on, that it's important to you, that it's important to other people, and keep reminding them and not letting people just forget about it, or just letting it fade away and stuff like that. Because I might post this artwork on my Instagram, and other people might post also artworks on their Instagram, and people might just scroll past them, and they scroll by another artwork and by another artwork, and then at some point they think, okay, there's so many people making artworks about this, I might look into it. This might be an important topic. I might have to educate myself on it, or something like that. And it might not be my artwork that they see and think, okay, this is the artwork where I decide to actively educate myself on this, but it is still playing into that. And so a lot of people are criticizing, and myself included, this turning into a trend. Like in the beginning of the video, I said I don't want this to be seen as just something that I'm doing for clicks, that I'm just doing because it's a trend right now, because it's just way too important for that. And a lot of people also criticized like the black squares, the Blackout Tuesday that went on, and said that like people are just thinking they can post a black square and then they've done enough activism for this movement, or stuff like that, or that people are just posting black squares because it's a trend. And then I also saw people attacking other people for just taking pictures at a rally, and maybe because they are using that to get likes on their posts and stuff like that. But I still think I'd rather have like 1,000 people posting black squares and 1,000 people just taking pictures at protests just to post them and get seen as liberal and tolerant and stuff like that. I'd rather have that than nobody posting anything at all, because then nobody sees it, and nobody gets worked up about it, and nobody even thinks about it, and nobody gets activated by that to give any thought to this movement. And that is the way that movements die down. That's the way that they fade away. So if you have anything, really just anything that can take up a little more of the portion of the content that people see every day on their phones or even outside, I think it's the best thing to just put it out there and just play your part by doing that. And I'm doing that in the best way that I can, and that is by creating an artwork. I hope I've made everything clear. I really hope people are not misunderstanding anything that I'm saying. And yeah, here's the final result.
Think I won't make it, but I know that I will escape the emptiness, cause that shit is slow and it kills. The flow and the skill, I made y'all believe it at last. You can make the future, but it starts with leaving the past.
Alright, so here it is, the final result. I'm so happy with how this turned out. And just the painting itself, I'm really happy with. I did not expect it to turn out this well. I don't know, some of you might have seen my video where I paint on my hat. I'm gonna put a link to that in the poll as well if you want to watch that. and yeah, the result wasn't anywhere near as good as this is. I mean, it's also to do with the material and the size of it, but yeah, it just felt so natural and so good painting on this. I'm so happy with how it turned out. Definitely the best thing I've drawn traditionally, probably the best thing I've drawn at all in a long time, and yeah, just so happy with it. I hope you guys all liked this as well and enjoyed it, so if you do, please leave a like. Please leave a comment if you have any questions concerning my opinions, because I really don't want there to be any misunderstandings. So if there's anything you want me to explain, then yeah, I'm happy to do that. And also leave a comment what you think, what your opinion on this whole thing is, what your opinion on the board is, and I don't know, anything that just comes to mind. Also subscribe, ring the bell so you get notified whenever I put out a new video. And yeah, see you in the next one.